Time management. Be more efficient and be more effective. Okay, so the number one struggle leaders come to me with is questions about how to balance their life. They are overwhelmed or too busy with everything, and they need to figure out how to balance. They ask for time management. Well, I hate to break it to you, but you can't manage time. There are 24 hours in a day, no changing that. Everyone has it. Everyone has the same amount. Also, you can't balance your time. So stop trying. Think about a scale. If you're trying to balance two things on a scale, both of those things are going to be average. Nothing is going to sail to the top above everyone else. So stop trying to balance. Workaholics aren't heroes. They don't save the day, they use it up. The real hero is already home because she figured out a faster way to get things done. And that's exactly what we are going to talk about. Okay, so you can't balance time. You can't manage time. So what can you do? You can manage what you do within your allotted 24 hours of the day. You can manage your activity. You can learn to successfully shift from one task or focus to another. Let's start with the morning routine. Your morning routine is very important, even though it is very hard for moms to successfully work a morning routine into the day. I'm therefore not talking about a super strict by-the-minute routine. Instead, I'm talking about 4 or 5 things that you can do every morning to make sure you are ready for the day. First, wake up. Duh, right? But seriously, don't hit the snooze button. All you are doing by hitting the snooze button is delaying the inevitable. You know how painful it is when that first alarm goes off? Why in the world would you hit the button and do it all over again 10 minutes later? Stop hitting the snooze button. Make yourself get up. Then, drink a big glass of water. This really rehydrates you and rejuvenates you for the day. I know it sounds weird and kind of a small thing, but it really does help. Don't pick up your phone as soon as you wake up. You will read something and forget about it, or you'll start working on something that you can't finish right then. So just don't do it. And finally, make yourself presentable. If you want to be treated like a professional, make yourself professional. Now, I'm not talking about putting on a suit every day to work around the house. No. I'm just talking about make yourself feel like you're actually ready to face the day. If that means put on a little bit of makeup, if that means, dressing comfortable but still cute, or if that means fixing your hair in the morning, or whatever it means, even if you're not getting out of the house, doing a little bit to take care of yourself in the morning will make a big impact on your day. Next, plan out your day. I personally do this the night before. So you want to write down 3 things that you must accomplish that day. This will really help you guide your focus for the day. And sometimes it might not even be 3, but these are those things. You can't go to bed that night without accomplishing these 3 things. And then list them hardest to easiest and accomplish them hardest to easiest. If you tackle the hardest thing first thing in the day, the rest of your day will be so much easier. And write them all down. Don't just think about them in your head. Actually write them down so you can check them off at the end of the day. Also, keep a notebook with you at all times. I keep this by my desk as I'm working. And if I'm working on one task, let's say I am working on scripting a party, and I'm working on this new script, I have a notebook beside me. And every time I think of something else that I need to accomplish that day, I write it down really briefly in the notebook. Nothing like elaborate, just something to jog my memory. That way, I can keep scripting that party, and I'm not multitasking. I'm not going to and working on something else. For example, if I'm scripting that party and I think about, oh, I need to tell that hostess X, Y, and Z, I'm just going to jot that down on my piece of paper to come back to it later. I'm not going to stop what I'm doing to go and hostess coach. Keep a running list of even the smallest tasks so you don't forget and so you aren't just constantly shifting back and forth. Do not multitask. Every time you change tasks, you waste time. So instead, successfully shift your focus and energy from task to task. This is not every minute. This is completely zoning in for a certain amount of time on one task and not shifting to something else. This goes for tasks within your business. This also goes for shifting between business time and family time. This goes from shifting between time with your kids to time with your husband. You always want to shift successfully, not multitask. If you're multitasking, your kids are noticing. Your kids are noticing that while they're trying to play with you, you're actually on the computer. So don't do that. Instead, shift successfully. Schedule time with your family. Don't just wait around for family time to fall into place. We get busy with whatever we are doing in life. So make sure you are scheduling that time with your kids, with your spouse. Take the kids somewhere for the weekend. Get out of the house with the kids, even if it, is somewhere free, just somewhere where you can get away from the computer and completely focus on them. Schedule a date night. Make sure you guys don't have phones out during dinner. And schedule non-work hours. I personally make sure that I'm not working in the mornings while we are all getting ready to go to school. I make sure that I'm not working right after school as we're getting dinner ready and bedtime ready and all of that. So those are my non-work hours. And then once the kids get in bed, then I work again. Let yourself cut corners every once in a while. Give yourself a break. It's okay if the kids have a Lunchable every once in a while. Just having a pizza night is okay. It's okay to get a babysitter for a few hours during the week. It is totally worth the money. If you can get a babysitter for 2 or 3 hours in the morning while you work uninterrupted, even if you're still at the house while she's there, if you can work uninterrupted, then when she leaves, you'll feel like your time is so much more freed up for you to completely focus on your child once she leaves. Even hiring a personal assistant can be life-changing. I have a personal assistant and she does the things that I do not enjoy doing. If it is something that gives you joy, do not outsource that. If it brings you joy, do it. But for me, I do not like going to the grocery store and getting the everyday items that my kids need for their lunches. So she does that for me. And while she is out grocery shopping for me, I am back home working and building my business. So it is worth the money I pay for her to do some tasks that I don't enjoy doing. This also includes things like going to the dry cleaners, dropping books off for me around town, changing the oil in my car, getting gas in my car. These all help me be able to stay at home and focus on building my business. This is not something to replace your responsibilities as a parent or wife. This is actually to make more time for the things you enjoy. For example, if you have your child and Mother's Day out until noon on Tuesdays and Thursdays and you have uninterrupted hours to work, then once she's home, you can more easily put down the phone and focus on her. Okay, let's talk about what to do with your downlines that take up a lot of your time. You don't want to just give them the answers. You want to guide them to teach themselves. You want to point where they can go find the answer. Remember, you had to learn all of these answers at some point. They might be all in your head now, but at some point you had to learn to go out and look for those yourself. So you need to teach them to do that. You can say things like, go look here, and if you still can't find it, come back and I'll help you out. Don't let them know that you're just hiding something from them, because you're not. You're just showing them where they can find the more comprehensive answer. Okay, so who do we teach? There are really 4 categories of consultants. We have new consultants, promotion-bound consultants, the steady eddies, and the quitters. The steady eddies are those girls who do their parties. They enjoy where they are. They're not looking to promote to team leader. They are just enjoy the books, enjoy the discount, and they're a great consultant. Those people usually know what they're doing. You don't have to spend a lot of time on them. Then we have the girls that have quit for whatever reason. It happens. Girls quit. We cannot obsess over them. They are a category of consultants, but that is not where our money is being made. Where we need to focus are these first two categories, the new consultants and the promotion-bound consultants. These two categories will bring you 80% of your income. Why would you be focusing anything on those quitters if these two categories are what brings you 80% of your income? This is where we need to focus. Okay, so another great tip for making sure that you are really staying focused throughout your day is a 30-minute self-assessment. Every 30 minutes, take 15 seconds to reflect. Think about, what did I accomplish? What did I need to be doing? Did I spend that 30 minutes wisely? This has really helped me out to make sure that I'm not losing focus on TV shows or Facebook or anything like that that can take my focus away from something that's going to actually accomplish something. This also helps me, if I'm with my kids and I look back, what did I do that last 30 minutes? And I can say, okay, I could have been more involved with what my kids were doing right then, that last 30 minutes, and I wasn't. And so it just really helps you focus and reflect on yourself and kind of critique yourself. You can also work in 15-minute blocks. For easy, repetitive tasks, let yourself work in 15-minute uninterrupted increments. This can be when the kids are home, when your spouse is there. You can just say, hey, I need 15 quick minutes. And if you actually stick to that 15 minutes, your spouse will probably be pretty impressed that you just were able to actually accomplish that in 15 minutes. So go off, get yourself some uninterrupted 15 minutes, send out messages for a mystery hostess party, hostess coach, set up all your events for the week, send out some messages to try to get some hostesses. This 15-minute block can really add up on these easy, repetitive tasks. So I hope that's giving you some tips for managing the time and managing your activity during the day. And hopefully you can come out to be a more successful leader and feel like you do actually have balance in your life, even though you're just shifting successfully.